Hi everybody, it's the Empowered Target. So it's a rainy, chilly day. It actually started out kind of warm and got a little bit chillier and breezier, windier. I was out at the park earlier and was trying to take a walk and it started to rain, so I kind of bagged that for a little while. The weather's been so crazy, so inconsistent. And we're heading into a kind of a dangerous season, and especially with the crazy weather conditions around the world right now with all the wildfires and, floods and just terrible, scary things going on. Who knows what to expect? So I'd like to start out by saying that my channel has always been very, very closely monitored. Very closely monitored. And I think, I don't know if all targeted individuals' channels are monitored, but what I've seen is that if you're a real targeted individual, you probably don't have a lot of followers, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, because, part of the COINTELPRO program is isolation. They don't want you to build a following. They don't want you to make money. They don't want you to build a support system. And if you are exposing anything, they certainly are going to prevent you from doing that. So I've noticed that, I have no likes and no comments and, as usual, I'm posting my experience, which is why I have this channel, to post what I'm going through and what I'm being subjected to. So, to all those people out there that are getting paid to victimize innocent people online and that make these silly little childish comments on my posts and on my channel and everybody else's, well, it says more about you than it does us, really. Having said that, something else that's on my mind is all this illegal government technology that's being used and how it's replaced bravery. And how it's replaced confrontation. I mean, talking about an avoidance tactic. Now, it's very normal. One of the characteristics of narcissism is they can't stand confrontation. Typically because they don't like to be called out on their bad behavior, right? Nobody really does, but when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, you've got the gaslighting and you've got the victim blaming, but they're just scared to death of confrontation. I call it the slap and run. They do you dirty and then they hide and they disappear, right? Well, now they've got this incredibly powerful advanced technology. And they don't have to face anybody one-on-one, do they? Everything's done hidden. It's all remote. So I guess my question is, what has happened to bravery? When I was a little girl, and I'm sure a lot of little girls felt this way, we were always looking for our Prince Charming, the guy on the white horse that was going to ride up and save us and protect us, because to a woman, a man's job, if you will, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but in our minds, we've always looked at most men as being our heroes and as being our saviors and as being our protectors. Well, that's changed. Men are now our abusers. And nothing could be truer than in my case. Because I'm being mobbed. And it's by the entire community. but it is predominantly, especially in my neighborhood, by the males in my neighborhood. And I thought, what guy goes after a woman? And I've made videos about, not being able to walk through the neighborhood without some kind of nonsense behavior going on. But since I've been targeted, it's been absolutely ridiculous. But it's mostly males. And just watching these males behave so irrationally, so badly, and not being able to understand it, because in my mind, this behavior is the opposite of what I thought a man was. And it's interesting because the mentality around here where I live, I've noticed, is that men think women have their special roles, which is to cook and clean and reproduce and obey them. It's kind of archaic. And so there's a mentality in my city, from what I've seen, where everybody has put everybody in a little box. And if you aren't that person, like if you don't have a man to control you, well, I guess the males in the city are going to take on that role for you. Because somebody's got to control this woman, God forbid. Where does this thought process come from? I don't understand it. I don't understand it because I wasn't raised with that. And so the only thing I can think of is that as women have become more independent, and they've been able to go to college, and they've been able to vote, and they've been able to run countries, and they've been able to, I think the capability of women threatens a lot of these males. And it threatens their masculinity. Because if we can't find our masculinity and get it through demeaning women, how are we gonna find it? And so I look at that and I compare it to having all this technology where they can just remotely take shots at your house and beam something from a satellite above and dump poisons on you, and everything is done covertly. But not one person can say it to my face. Not once has anybody said to my face, we want you out of this neighborhood. We don't like your behavior, because I haven't done anything. And they know that. They don't have anything on me. They're trying to create something. I've noticed that my feed on YouTube and all the other, websites that I visit, and social media sites, it is so political. And it almost seems like they're trying to push me towards agreeing to sign some sort of petition to oust the president, or to protest. And I see that as a setup. Because I remember reading something about Elon Musk has people online trolling people's YouTube channels and, things like that, looking for any dissident, anybody that disagrees with what's going on. So basically, if you disagree, you got to keep it to yourself. Don't put it out there. And if you're a targeted individual, really don't put it out there. Because it's a setup. They're looking for a reason to come after me. Now I know, because I've heard and I can tell, just by the way things have been playing out, that some of the slander that's been spread about me. And I've never, ever been political. Never. have I ever been into politics. I vote in presidential elections, and I don't vote Republican and I don't vote Democrat. I vote independently. I vote for who I believe would be the best candidate. And I'm just not somebody who's ever been into politics. But I've also never been a targeted individual before. And so what's happening right now in our country deeply affects me. And so I'm more interested now than I ever have been. But I also see the setup. I also smell the setup. And I'm not going to go there. I am not going to go there. It is a full-time job staying alive right now because I am being fumed and aerosoled, not only inside my home, but inside my car, outside when I'm walking. And you can tell that my voice has changed. It's pretty bad. I was washing my face again for the second time this morning, and I decided to kind of wipe down the Mylar that I cover myself with. It was covered. It was filthy, just like my face. So, you know, what I think is that they're trying to prevent me from covering myself. They want me to uncover myself. Everything has a consequence. Anytime I try to protect myself, there's a consequence. There's a punishment. Like I'm a child. I'm not a child. I'm a grown woman. And I think it's safe to say that I may be one of the only citizens in this city that's not committing any felonies. I'm not a part of human trafficking. I'm not hacking into someone's security cameras. But they need someone to focus on, to deflect the attention away from what they're doing. So that's something that's been on my mind, how this technology has seemed to replace courage. It just makes it so much easier. And you know, technology in general, because online bullying has been so prevalent because it's so easy to sit behind a computer screen and bully somebody and say something because you're not face to face. So I really think that technology is creating cowards because it doesn't force you to face people one-on-one. But being a targeted individual and watching how these people are hidden and they're hiding behind everything. And so many of them have this really advanced technology that of course is illegal. And they hide behind it. But they don't have the balls to face me. So please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to like and leave a comment. It may or may not show up. I may or may not be able to see it. But I'm going to continue recording. As long as they attack me, and as long as I'm targeted, I'm going to record for as long as I can. So you all stay safe, sane, and healthy. Till next time.